Hello everybody, it's me DS again, and what the? So yeah, this is my Godzilla, Mothra, King Ghidorah, Giant Monsters, All Out Attack Godzilla figure. That was a handful to say, but yeah, this is one of my older figures, like Godzilla figures, and I would say it used to be my favorite. It's not really my favorite that much anymore. I tend to favor some other Godzillas I have, but this one's still a pretty good, like, sculpt and stuff. Just not the best compared to others, but let's take a look at him. So he has these very smooth, like, scales on his back and, like, all around his body. I'm not sure how I feel about it. It is nice to handle the figure, but, like, then again, it is a little bit too soft, and it kind of takes away from the entire look. But, I mean, GMK didn't have the most sharpest scales, so it's pretty much fine. His claws are painted rather nicely. These dorsal fins, I mean, they look nice, to be honest. Like, they have a blue glow sometimes if you, like, put them under stuff. Like, they glow very nicely. Weird thing is that they're painted throughout the middle, kind of like the, movie monster series, Godzilla 2000. I have them right here, so, yeah, you can kind of see what I'm talking about. You have, like, that line, but I don't know, it's not that much of a big deal. But I do have to say his dorsal fins are kind of soft, and it feels actually very nice. The paint goes all the way down until, like, this part of the tail, and I usually don't really mind Godzilla figures when they have this stop of the white to the tail, but I feel like it doesn't really work for GMK all that well. I feel like if they continue with a grayish color throughout, like, I don't know, like around this part and, like, faded it out, I feel like that would have looked a little better. Now with his face, I actually do really like the sculpt of his face that they have here. He looks a lot more mean and like he's growling at something, like, I don't know, like another opponent. But he also has the same problem my 62 has, where, like, the gums are kind of, like, faded onto, like, the bottom of his jaw, which does not look all that good. I even tried putting some marker, which I don't think I really should have done since I got this thing for a lot of money, but he has this very nice army green color, like, dashed onto, like, the black of the actual figure itself. And I don't think the Atomic Blast version of this guy has that green, but I feel like it works for GMK. I'm not sure why. A lot of other people, like, don't think it does, but, like, I actually do kind of dig it. It's pretty cool. But enough rambling. Let's get on to figure articulation. Ball joint at the foot, hinge at the knee, and a dumbbell joint, I think that's what it's called, at the hip. He has a ball jointed tail, only three things of, like, articulation, but it is kind of bad. He does have bendy wire at the end, but I don't really think it works all that well, even with this little tip part not even bending as well. This part is still the same problem that I have with a lot of other NECA figures, but, like, what could you do? He has a nice swivel at the waist, ball joints at the base of the arm, hinge at the elbow, and a weird hinge ball joint-ish thing at the wrist, and a little hinge at the fingers. Okay, one thing I do want to point out is that he's a little too much hunched over. I feel like they should have made it so, like, he could stand up a little more straight and kind of move the tail so it was more upward, so we wouldn't have this weird gap here, and you could, like, you know, move it so it looked normally. I would, but what could you do? ball joint at the base of the neck, ball joint at the head, and the jaw.
Scale.
He comes in around 6.5 inches tall and 10.5 inches long. And here he is, scaled next to the 2014 GMK King Ghidorah, the Movie Monster Series Final Wars Gigan, the Movie Monster Series Final Wars Anguirus, the Star Wars Mission Series Jango Fett, the Bandai Legion, and last but not least, the Neca Godzilla Tokyo SOS. So yeah, that was my review on the Neca GMK Godzilla. I don't really think this is my all-time favorite figure. It used to be, but nowadays I tend to favor some other figures. Just like the movie, I tend to favor some other movies. This used to be my favorite Godzilla. That's why I got a figure of him. But he's still a pretty good figure, and having a Ghost Godzilla in my collection is actually pretty cool. Of course, I have a lot of history with this Godzilla, this being my actual, first Godzilla I had in my series, my little Godzilla series, and it's also technically the first Godzilla in my weird little continuity I have for my stop motions, and I just find it pretty cool that, this has a lot of history tied to it. I may not use him anymore, but the legend still lives on. Until next time.